It's called Evolv weapons detection system. It's a cutting-edge, sophisticated type of system.
7 new weapon detectors are now in use in Williamsburg County middle and high schools. They're at the entrance of each school, so when someone walks through, it can sense if there is a gun. The system uses cameras and detects a weapon through shape, density, and location. A staff member from the district will monitor each detector.
The technology, is great. It allows us to be able to pinpoint not just items of concern, but also the person in connection with that item.
The district says school safety is a priority. They already have metal detectors and wands at every school, but this is another way to keep students safe.
Well, we know as the culture goes, there's some instances, a lot of instances where guns, violence is in the culture, in the society. So as the culture goes, sometimes it trickles down to the schools.
But what about the Tri-County? We reached out to CCSD. A spokesperson told us in part, quote, district staff presented an analysis of security measures, including weapon detectors in October. Staff will provide recommendations at the November 7 Committee of the Whole meeting, end quote. DD2 told us in part, quote, we are constantly evaluating our security procedures. Safety is our top priority, end quote. And BCSD told us in part, quote, the district has been reviewing metal detection systems like the one implemented in Williamsburg County. However, it is premature at the time to promise how such system would be utilized or how soon they could be implemented, end quote. Although other low-country districts do not have the weapon detectors, the Williamsburg County School District hopes that if the detectors are beneficial, then every school in its district will have one.
Because we want our kids to come here and be safe. We want to make sure they're in a safe learning environment so that we don't have to worry about things happening.
The device is called a stealth stat. I spoke to Hanahan Police and one woman who lives along this road, and they tell me speeding has always been an issue, but they're hoping that this device can solve that problem.
I notice people trying to speed along on the left lane and cutting people off.
Amber Widmer has lived along North Red Avenue since 2016. Her front yard is facing the busy street.
Definitely seems a bit fast for kind of like having my driveway right here, but
She says with all the speeding cars, she's worried about her daughter's safety.
I don't want my daughter out on the front yard by not within my arm's reach. So
Widmer and some of her neighbors have even put up their own signs trying to slow people down.
actually put a real bump sign finally on that one speed limit, but
Hanahan Police says speeding has become a problem for the neighborhood. To help collect the data of the speed of cars, the department has set up some sneaky equipment.
It's the first thing we do when someone calls in a speeding complaint. We'll deploy the stealth stat and collect that data.
The device records how fast each car is going and the time of day, so police know the best time to patrol the area.
It's for us to get the data so we know when to be out here, when to address, when we need to put extra resource out here during which time frames.
Over the past 6 days, HPD says the device has tracked 82,000 cars. They say 40% of the drivers are traveling at speeds of 46 miles per hour or higher when the speed limit is 35. The hope is the increased police presence will prevent fatal crashes and help neighbors feel safe again.
Project's goal is to improve safety at 7 intersections along North Main Street, spanning from Farmington Road to 2nd Avenue in Berkeley County. The project is in the development phase, and tonight they took the next step, asking for the public input.
The South Carolina Department of Transportation is making improvements to 17A, also known as North Main Street. DOT engineers reviewed and evaluated the corridor through a road safety assessment and then provided a report with recommendations on how to make it safer.
And when you have a highway, as heavily traveled at this location, it's just difficult to make those left turns into those businesses and especially out, because you find that people are trying to beat the gap. They're taking chances that are unnecessary, and we try to eliminate those people having even that option to make those left turns out.
The DOT's Sean Sally explains the challenges drivers face every day on North Main Street. Upcoming improvements include the installation of new signage, signals, and pedestrian crosswalk markings, in addition to installing raised concrete medians in the left turn lanes.
You want to have the safety countermeasure, but you don't want to impede traffic. So a lot of the concrete median, it will help traffic flow, But the main issue is to cut out those angle crashes and try to reduce the fatality and serious injuries.
The project is estimated to cost $2.5 million and will be federally funded by the Highway Safety Improvement Program. Thursday night, SCDOT hosted a public meeting with displays of the project, giving the public a chance to ask questions and make comments.
And I think it will benefit. It will save people from trying to make those dangerous turns. And I think it'll help with the flow, making it easier, and definitely not causing a whole lot of accidents, which would, make it more congested and more backed up than the traffic already is.
Once these comments are collected, SCDOT will make any adjustments needed and put it out for bid for a contractor.
And once we start construction, we're thinking anywhere from 9 months to a year to actually get it done. And that's, those are conservative estimates, but we're looking at fall of 23.
For those who weren't able to attend tonight's meeting, they can submit questions or comments online or by email. The comment period will end on November 18th.